This is the season of You Talkshow, where putting yourself first is always in season. Life is bound to suck at times, and that is why I made this space where you can learn tips and tricks to navigate the suck. In this space, we honor and grow through seasons of singleness, seasons of sadness, seasons of celebration, seasons of hope, and also seasons of nope. So go ahead, crack open a Celt with your new BFF and life coach, Megan herself, me, and let's dive into today's show. Welcome to today's episode of this season of You Talkshow. I'm Megan herself, and I'm so excited to be here with you. You are such an amazing human being, and I just want you to know that, because if you went ahead, turned on this show, you have belief in yourself that your life can exceed all expectations that you've ever had, and that everything you've ever wanted is within your grasp, because you have everything you need to succeed right now. And that is something I wish I knew 1, 2, 5, 7, 15 years ago. I am so convinced that everything we need is already within us. And I think it's so interesting how, God chooses to use the broken. And I am a prime example of that. I am in no way, shape, or form even close to good. Not perfect. I am just a normal, weird human being who has a lot to say. And I truly believe that everything that comes out of me is not me. I think that I'm working for a bigger mission, a mission of good. And if that's weird to you, then that's okay. I would have thought it was weird too. But I want you to know that you are capable of so much amazingness. And I never thought I would be capable of amazingness because I didn't come from a wealthy family. My clothes growing up were not great. My grades were not great. My attitude was quiet. I was so quiet because I thought nobody wanted to talk to me. Overall, I was convinced that my life for the rest of it was going to blow because I had not been set up or teed up for success, so therefore I would never experience success. And I want to dismantle that belief in my mind, in your mind, and hopefully in maybe somebody you know's mind, that success does not look for a good tee up. Success is merely created from hard work and belief in yourself, belief in knowing that all things are possible, belief in a bigger mission, belief in the understanding that you have everything within you to succeed right now. And when I tell you, I know that there is more inside of you that you are holding back, that you're afraid to share because maybe it's too good. Maybe it's a part of you that scares you because you don't know the limits that it could bring you to, or the abundance that it could bring into your life. I know for me that I have so many skills that people desire. And I told my therapist once, I said, Tammy, if I actually go all in on myself, I said, I'm scared because I know I have all of the tools I need right now to be successful. And I understand that some people may not get why that is scary or why I would be afraid to go all in on myself. But when you have been hiding and you have been living behind and around and putting people in front of you your entire life, putting the focus on you and putting the focus on your skills is a scary and vulnerable place to be. And that is exactly where I was. Before I started sharing back on Instagram, I knew I had everything in me to be successful. I know that I've done it for other people multiple times. I know that I've seen a lot of things that would allow me to be successful. I know that I have the resources to be successful. I know I have the skills to be successful. I know I have everything in my toolbox that I need to be successful. Yet here I was living a life of disconnect and unfulfillment because I was afraid of my own potential. And like I said, I tell this to some of my friends who are overachievers and really high performers, and sometimes it's very hard for them to understand that I am afraid of success. And as each day that goes on and the more truth of mine that I speak and that I share with the world, I am less and less afraid of success and more excited that women across the entire world will be able to hopefully see that happiness is an option in their life and that they can choose to be happy and they can choose themselves, even with all of the craziness going on, even with all of the sadness in their life, even with all of the disbelief and maybe abuse and wrong words, that no matter what happens, they can always choose themselves at the end of the day, and how choosing themselves can really benefit their entire life. And the more I talk, the more I share, the more I encounter, the more I believe, the more I see, the more I do, it all makes sense. It's literally all clear as day. It's clear as day that we are given the tools we have and the personality we have and the weird things in our brain and in our life, because we are meant to use those for good. We are meant to use those gifts to facilitate a word, to what word am I trying to say? We are meant to use those gifts as a tool to share whatever it is on our hearts with the world. If you're an artist, then you are meant to share with the world via art. If you are a speaker, then you are meant to share with the world via speaker. If you are a talented human being in any way, shape, or form, which I know you are, because each one of us has this unique set of talents, whether we are aware of them or not, whether we have shoved them deep down into the depths of our soul or not. We are all capable of so much. Now, the thing is we need to identify those talents, and then we need to harness those talents. So this is something I've been working on so much recently, because for a while, my entire life was ran by anxiety and ADD, and I was fucking fun. I was like the life of a party, okay? Because I was driven by my anxiety and my ADD, and I thought that there was no other option besides to show up and to be loud and to be funny and to be crazy, but it was just a defense mechanism. And the more secure I become with myself, the less and less I want that version of me to show up unannounced. I want to be able to choose when I can be funny, to choose when I can use humor, to choose when I can laugh really loudly, but I don't want it to be expected. And I was in therapy the other day and I said, Tam, here's the thing. I said, I want to show up here and get a lot of stuff done. I said, but I don't want to show up here and be zen as fuck and you think that I did drugs or something. And she said, Megan, you show up exactly as you need and exactly as you are, and I will never think that. But I truly do believe that in my own brain, I, not knowing how to harness my power of quick-witted humor, of comedy, of making people feel seen, of making people feel welcome, it gets lost in translation and it becomes a lot. And I want to be able to harness this power and be able to use it for the greater good, for being able to become an efficient storyteller with my animation because I am so animated, and to be able to use that animation and my voice influxes and my tonality to my advantage and not to my disadvantage is something that I am trying so hard to harness. Also, energy. I have a lot of energy. I feed off of people's energy, and I am literally all energy. And there have been times, most of my life, where I would just dispense energy like it was unlimited funds at a buffet, right? I would just dispense. And then when it came to me, I had no energy left to give myself. So I always settled for just enough. Like, this is fine. This is just enough. But the more I learn who I am, the more I understand what I need, the more I look at my own personal requirements for functioning at optimal levels, the more I understand that my energy that I am dispensing needs to be in places that benefit me. Like content creation, like podcasts, like connecting with people who want to work with me or want to learn from me or want to grow with me. That's where my attention lies, and that's where my energy should follow. Because, they say where your attention goes, energy flows. And not to situations where I'm uncomfortable and anxious, and then they get all of my energy, and then when it comes to situations where I need it, it's gone. That is something I am working so hard to harness and to change and to really implement into my daily life. So if you have a talent or a skill or something about you that is just so uniquely you, and you know that you use it in places where it's not best utilized, I want you just to think about it and observe it just for now. Observe how often it's happening. Observe where it's happening. Observe why it's happening. And then slowly but surely, as you learn more and more and more about who you are, you'll be able to harness that power and use it for your own good. Because just a reminder, you have everything inside of you that you need to be successful. And don't think that the success that is awaiting you is only going to happen if you were born rich, if you were born wealthy, if you were born swagalicious, if you were born beautiful, because we are all beautiful and we are all swaggy. It's just in our own way. Okay, Swaggisha? Okay. I know for me, I love to be weird. It's like my favorite thing ever. And anybody who doesn't allow me to be weird, it gets weird because I'm like, well, I'm gonna be weird anyway. And you need to understand that those skills that some people try to hide and that light that people try to dim, those people are not for you. The light that you have inside of you is meant to shine so brightly. It's meant to shine so you can be a lighthouse for other people who can't see for themselves. It's meant to shine so bright that the most true version of you is illuminated upon every single person you meet. So if anybody ever tries to dim your light, just say goodbye. Because the light inside of you is not meant to be dimmed. It's meant to shine. So I hope that this episode today allowed you to think about and really noodle it up. What are talents? What is the weirdness? What are the broken parts of you that make you so uniquely you that other people could also benefit from, or where you could speak from a place or draw from a place or act from a place or give from a place that would allow other people to see who you truly are in places and times where you feel it's appropriate. So I hope that this episode just allowed you a little insight into seeing all of that, all them goods, and if you are ever afraid to shine your light, don't be. Let that thing illuminate so bright that people from across the world who are struggling with what you have and the solution that you want to provide can see it. So I hope that this episode is helpful. I love hanging out with all of you on this podcast. You make my life so beyond magical. So thank you so much for listening, for tuning in, and for sharing. Of course, you can always slide up into my DMs at Meagan herself on the gram. But for now, Meagan herself.